Hi, thank you for visiting esourceparts.ca. Today we will walk you through how to replace an LCD assembly on a Blackberry Q10. Things you'll need to complete this repair are a 16-piece premium opening toolkit and a Blackberry Q10 LCD assembly. Everything used in this video is available on our website at www.esourceparts.ca. Start off by removing the back battery cover of the phone and then removing the battery. Using a pentalobe screwdriver, remove the two screws that are holding down the top cover. Slide the top cover upwards in order to have it removed. Once the top cover is removed, there are 7 screws holding down the frame. 2 in the top, 5 in the main portion of the phone. Using a Torx 4 T4 screwdriver, begin removing the 7 screws. Flip the phone over. Under the keyboard is a small plastic cover. Using the plastic opening tool, gently pry off one of the corners and slide the opening tool along one of the edges in order to have it removed. The cover is held down with 2 clips and a little bit of adhesive. It will come off fairly easily. Using a T4 screwdriver, remove the 2 screws that are located under the plastic cover. Now that all the screws have been removed, the main board is covered with a plastic housing. Use the opening tool to gently pry off one of the edges of the plastic housing and run it along one of the edges. There are many clips around the edges and it will come off easily once all the clips are released. Now that you have access to the main board, there are 5 small connectors. Using the plastic opening tool, gently and carefully remove the connectors that are connected to the main board. The 2 connector flex cables on the right hand side are held down with a little bit of adhesive. Use the pick tool and gently slide under the flex to remove it from the board. Use the plastic opening tool to remove the main board from the frame. Start on the left hand side and run it along the edge. The main part of the board is held down with some adhesive. Use the plastic tool to release and remove the adhesive holding down the board. The next step is to remove the keyboard from the phone. The keyboard is held down with 2 small screws, which are located under the sticker where the battery is. By removing the sticker and peeling it upwards, we'll expose one of the screws. Using a small Phillips screwdriver, remove the 1 screw that's located on the left-hand side. The second screw can be found on the right-hand side under the copper-colored foil sticker. Remove the sticker using the plastic tool to expose the second screw, and using the same Phillips screwdriver, remove that screw. Once the screws have been removed, the keyboard will come out easily. Using your thumbs, apply some pressure from the inside and push the keyboard out towards the bottom, and go around the edges to have the keyboard completely removed. To have the LCD assembly removed from the frame, slide the assembly screen downwards towards the bottom slightly. It will move only a little bit. Once it's moved a little bit downwards, you can use your thumbs from the inside to push the screen out. Once the screen has been removed from the frame, on the back of the screen you will need to remove the headphone jack. Using the T4 screwdriver, remove the two screws that's holding down the headphone jack, which will come off easily, along with its flex cable. You will also need to remove the rear back camera from the LCD assembly. Using the plastic tool, you can pry off the camera from underneath the flex cable, which is only held down with a little bit of adhesive. Be sure not to damage the flex cable. Now that the phone has been completely taken apart, it is time to replace the phone with the new screen. Take the rear camera and place it in the top left-hand corner of the new LCD assembly. Sometimes the camera may not have enough adhesive, so you may want to do this step later on. Put back the headphone jack on the top right-hand corner of the LCD assembly and screw it in using the two T4 screws. Put the LCD assembly back into the frame from the front. Place it slightly underneath the top of the frame and slide it up. You may use your fingers to snap it back in place so that the frame sits properly around the LCD. Put the keyboard back into the frame from the front. Feed it in using the flex cable first and pop it into the frame along the bottom and edges. You will feel it click into place, especially towards the bottom. Make sure that the 4 horizontal chrome silver lines that are in between the keys line up with the edge of the frame and sit in properly. Secure the keyboard back into place by screwing in the 2 small Phillips screws. Put the motherboard back into the frame. Best way to do it is if you put it on an angle and line up the USB charging ports into the side of the frame and click down along the edges. Make sure to be careful of the flex cables for the keyboard and the headphone jack so they don't get damaged. Plug in the 5 connectors to the motherboard for the camera, LCD, digitizer, keyboard, and the headphone jack. When pushing them in, make sure to feel for that little click to know that it's fully seated into the board. If you've installed a new keyboard, the flex will have a backing. Remove the backing from the flex to expose the adhesive. If not, just use the adhesive that's already on your flex and press it down against the board. Install the plastic cover over the main board into place. Secure it by pressing down against the edges and you will hear it click into place. Secure the plastic protective cover to the frame by screwing in the 2 T4 screws at the top of the phone and the remaining 5 screws in the main portion of the phone. Screw in the 2 T4 screws located under the keyboard at the bottom of the phone. Place the plastic cover under the keyboard over the 2 screws. Slide the top cover on the phone, ensuring that it is lined up straight, as there are connectors on the inside of the cover that need to connect with the board. Screw in the remaining 2 pentalobe screws, securing the top cover. Put the battery back in the phone and then the back battery cover. That is the complete tear down and reassembly of the Blackberry Q10 with the LCD digitizer replacement. Thank you for watching our how-to video. Be sure to check us out online at www.esourceparts.ca for all of your parts and accessory needs.